get going. Please disconnect from the Wi-Fi, silence your phone, and do not watch the camera. Bucket fills. What do we have for bucket fills today? Anybody?
Noble did a good job.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Noble. And Jacqueline for arranging that. That's awesome.
Well, I'm thankful for all of you in this office.
Oh,
That's sweet. Yay.
thank you. All right. Anybody else? No? No.
I'm thankful for Ashley going through all these numbers on a monthly basis. And
Yeah.
how many years? Like 10, 12, 13?
Well, Nancy's like, oh, the celebrity's here today. I'm like, it's the same thing for 20 years.
That's a big deal.
20 years, actually, in 2 weeks, it will be 20 years.
Oh.
Yeah, crazy.
A long time. So
The
thank you.
same freaking numbers. It looks slightly different.
No, but you know what? You don't get this at every brokerage,
No.
though. This is
Not
not
at
a
any
thing
of them.
that you see. Yeah.
Awesome.
So it's
Thank you.
I'm thankful for Nancy's fashion.
Beyonce.
Thank you, baby.
I'm gonna start taking bets on next week's hair color.
Okay.
Or length.
Enough about my hair. Let's do birthdays. My favorite part of the team meetings. So can we have? If your name is on the TV and it's your birthday this month, please come forward.
Little cancer babies.
What day is yours? Oh, mine's 18th.
Oh.
Same.
Are you a Leo or a Cancer?
Cancer.
And you are too. You should be good.
Oh, it's June though. We already did mine.
Okay.
Don't burn the
What are we doing? Just wave at the pretty. Hey guys. So my name is Alicia. My birthday is on Friday. This is Judy. And I'm going to be in Catalina.
You're going to be how old?
44.
44, Alicia.
No.
Okay, disclosure, you guys. There's gonna be a confetti popper.
It's loud.
It's loud. And then, okay, so you two hold the cake. We'll do that. We'll sing happy birthday at the count of 3, okay? 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Alicia. Happy birthday to you. Catch on fire. Little paper catches on fire.
Oh my god.
Alicia, you have like 5 of them in your hair. And I'm not sure it's with.
I know.
Congratulations to our birthday babies for the month. Next, property pitches. What do we have today? Hi, can I go?
I've never done this before.
Yes!
My name's Ashley. I'm on Steve's team. I have 3 listings right now. One of them is in South Park. It's on the end of a dead-end street. It is in a condominium complex. It's 829. It's beautiful. It's all brand new. It's 3 beds, 3.5 baths. It's an end unit and it has the biggest backyard, a private yard in the complex.
Nice.
And then I have 2 that are the same. They're brand new construction in North Park on 32nd Street. So again, it's totally brand new. It's new construction. They're more townhomes. They're 3 stories going up. They don't have backyards, but they have multiple outdoor terraces. Those ones are also 3 beds, 3.5 baths. So, and one of them is 1325, because it's the model unit, so it has all the upgrades. The other one has no flooring, and a couple other things that you can pick. It's all included in the price, and that one's 1295. So.
Very good. Who's going next? Judy.
Somebody please.
The one bedroom condo.
I just talked to the seller today, and she said, well, all the people who are asking me to relist the property, they all say it's worth the right price. It's priced right. And I said, yeah, because they want your listing. She said, yeah. Okay, I said, look, let's sit down and figure out the numbers so you know what you can really afford. But you know, I'm going to get her to go down. I'm going to get her to go down. Right now it's at $439. It's 612 square feet. It's 1 bedroom, 1 bath. It's got washer and dryer right in the unit. It's got a laser, Wi-Fi, whatever. And it's got dedicated parking, off-street parking. It's a really cute little complex, and the HOA is only $258. Come on, guys. Somebody must need a little condo. You know, that person that it doesn't have enough money, that one. And we can do deals with Ed. He's going to do his magic so they can afford it, even if they can't afford it.
I don't know if that's
Please, somebody. I feel so bad for this woman. I was her agent like 10 years ago when she bought her first property. Me and Bill, we sold her that property. I mean, I feel an emotional debt to her. I've got to get this thing sold. So please, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? No? Okay. Access to the building, just come see us if you need to come in after office hours. Mondays with Mark Miller, don't miss it, it's on Zoom. And then this is the link for Bowl. If you need to sign up still for the full session or just step 1. It's around the corner, you guys. It's on August 5th already. Don't forget you can use your education points. And some of you, we have your pretty faces already here because you already signed up for step 1. So we look forward to having you for the rest of the sessions. Judy, you want to go really quick?
All right, guys. How would you like to have an endless source of listings? Anybody? Oh, come on. I know that you. So the biggest population that's going to be selling properties, and they don't need to buy. Could buy, but they don't need to buy. So it's not contingent. That's the baby boomers. Everybody know what a baby boomer is?
Yes.
Do they? Okay. What are they? What are they? Who are they? Okay, so today I'm going to show you some information about them, how they think, what they need, what kind of relationship we can establish with them to forward them down the road to the next chapter of their life. No, they're not going into an old people's home to die. No, come on. It sounds so horrible. That's the way a lot of people think. Well, if I leave my house, I've got my house, and I'm not leaving because I've got too much stuff. Right? So if they leave, they're going to be moved into the mortuary, where they're going to sit around in a wheelchair to die. Well, it's not like that. It's actually like a bullshit. Some of these communities, it's kind of like a bullshit. But you have to know about it. You have to be able to tell them. You have to be able to show them, and that's what I'm going to be able to demonstrate along with Amy. Amy and I, we're going to talk about that whole guest speaker today, who is a placement agent, and she's going to help us know even more about it that we didn't have last time. Ashley wanted me to do this class. It's very important for our careers, for our future, as it is going to be $84 trillion going to be redistributed in the next 20 years. Just get your unfair share. So come to my class, And I didn't think I am a member of the community in Keller Williams, which is called Keller Williams Real Estate Planners. I've got my certification in senior relocation and in 1031 exchange. So, there's a lot of things that I would like to run by you so you get to know more about it. This is our trust expert over here. So we've got a lot of information for you. Please stick around after stats. Let's have some fun. We're going to do some role play. It's going to be fun.
Thank you. Have a good team meeting.
Jacqueline.
So for anyone who was in the CapCut class today? Awesome.
Amazing.
Did anyone learn something new? Yes, I'm gonna take that as a yes.
Yes.
Awesome. I'll tell you my takeaways for those of you that missed it. One is, Gog actually brought this up. If you do this CapCut training, it applies to a lot of different editing platforms. So even if you're not a big fan of CapCut, what we realized today is they have changed it and there is not a free version that we could get access to. So even if you choose not to do the paid version, still learn those basic editing skills because Instagram has the same thing. So I still think it's worth value to learn how to edit your videos quickly and on the fly. And the other thing that was my big takeaway from the class is film things you're already doing, right? Don't create more work for yourself. Film what you're already doing. So when you're running out to an inspection or you're running out to do whatever it is that's in the real estate world, film that, put that out on social media. So 2 birds, 1 stone, right? If you missed class, or if you just want a secondary version, text or call Noble. He'll actually do a one-on-one session of the same thing he taught today over in the Escrow Partners Suite. So everybody's welcome to that. No charge, it's free. Just come in and he'll do a one-on-one class with you so you can learn how to edit. So if you missed it, you still have a chance. We would like to recognize a special achievement. So we've only had, I think, 2 other people that have reached this so far. Marvin is the 3rd agent to reach 3 live escrows in a single month. So, congratulations. We love to see that. And we wanted to spotlight both Vinny and Kareen. Something that we've been working on over at Escrow Partners is creating new programs. So for those of you that remember last week, I was telling you about the military program that we launched. Let me know if you want more info. I have all of that. We're also working on a seller E&O offering and a probate program, and Vinny and Kareen have volunteered to review those programs for me and give me more agent perspective to make sure it will make you more valuable when you go into a listing presentation. So they have volunteered to be my agents I can bounce things off of, which I appreciate. But if you have questions about that, please let me know. We would be happy to work with you on those things. Can I add too? If you guys have ideas, you got a smart group over in Escrow. We don't know everything. So if you're seeing things out there, you have ideas that you think would be cool for us to either offer or come in and help you with, let us know.
Yep, absolutely. Lastly, next week, so did anyone see the list to last today? It was live today, but today was a busy day for us here at Metro. Next week, Wednesday, July 23rd, from 11 to 2 p.m. It's a live stream. It's Gary Keller and Jason Abrams, who are kind of a big deal at Keller Williams. They are going to be teaching List to Last. It's going to be live streaming, and Escrow Partners is going to sponsor, and we'll bring in some juices and some beverages so that you guys have, there's coffee here, otherwise we bring in coffee, but you guys already take care of that. Yeah.
So it's gonna run into the team meeting, right? So into the, okay.
Yes, so it goes until 2, right? We've adjusted that, but yes. So the team meeting will start at 2. So we'll have this in here.
Okay.
Yep. We'll have this in here from 11 a.m. to 2, and then at 2 we'll just transition right into team meeting.
We're gonna let the
It'll be an
Northwest
hour?
Universe come in and then you probably.
Yeah, we're just locking you in. You're stuck.
Okay. Sounds good. I love it here.
Watch this from home?
You can. It will be through Connect if you want to watch it through Connect. It's just if you want to come for the environment and the energy and be here already for the team meeting, we'll be here hosting
Have a free
beverages.
lunch too.
And should we expect to be here for the full hour of the team meeting? So from 2 to 3 instead of 1:30 to 2:30?
No, we'll still end at right at 2:30.
2:30, okay.
Any other questions on List to Last? We'll see you guys all next week. Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, cool thing. All right, so I want to interview for a job, you guys. I'd like to be your loan officer. I just want you guys to know a couple of things about movement that I don't think I've ever shared before, so I figured I'd take this opportunity to give you guys a little insight as to the company I work for and why I've been here almost a decade now, which is kind of crazy, and in this office almost 10 years, which is Yeah, it's wild. So last year, you guys, we did $22 billion in sales. It made us the number 5 retail bank in the country, mortgage bank. All right. We are the number 7 VA lender in the country, number 6 USDA, number 12 reverse lender. And 82% of our loans are processed from beginning to end in less than 7 days. So yeah, if you can imagine, it's a lot of loans too, because we helped 63,125 families last year. So it's a lot, 22 billion in transactions last year. But honestly, the real reason why I love working with it, and I'm just sorry, I'm looking at my phone, scrolling down, not like reading text or anything like that. But I just wanted to give you the actual stats. The real reason why I love it is because very much like Keller Williams, where you guys have like KW Cares and stuff like that, we have Love Works. Last year, $609,000 went to our internal employees because they had tough times. That's a lot of money. We also have what's called the Movement Foundation. About half of all the profits that Movement makes, they give back to their communities. Like, yeah, it just doesn't happen in most banks out there because everyone's trying to like make that bottom line and like make it look like the shareholders are doing really, really well and give back to them. We're giving it back to our communities, you guys. Since the foundation of Movement in 2008, $402 million have been given back. Last year was $1.5 million in Grace Work grants. So every so often, like for instance, I volunteer for a humble design. I was able to get them a $10,000 check. That helped 2 families get into homes, right? And some of you guys were actually fortunate to come with me and help one of those families get into that house. We also have a matching program where like if we're donating money, they're matching what we're doing dollar for dollar. Most banks don't do these kind of things. Most banks don't give money back. I know that every loan that I close, we're giving back to our communities. We're in the process of building our 7th school. You guys, we built 6 schools in impoverished communities, and these kids get free tuition. They get free book bags. They get free textbooks. All the teachers are paid for because we're doing loans together. So all I'm asking, like, if you guys have an opportunity, I'd love to earn your business and work for you guys, and I promise you I will take very good care of your clients and keep you guys in the loop, and we'll be able to make a difference at least, instead of just making the bottom line. So, thank you.
Hello, kids. Show of hands. Who's ever done an Avid? Show of hands. Who's ever done an Avid at their home, not at the property they're actually supposed to be doing the Avid at? So I make it. Show of hands. Who's done an Avid looking at the inspector's report or the inspector's pictures? Well, unfortunately, some of the people in the industry do. So I'm making a pitch for the last meeting of the month, which is the risk management meeting. I will show you how to do the Avid properly. Who's ever put none noted in the rooms? Nothing noted. That could get you in trouble. Filling out the Avid wrong could actually put you in jeopardy if you're ever in a claim that could create liability for you if you are very lax on the Avid. So I want to make sure, save the date, 2 weeks from today, I'm going to teach you the proper way how to do the Avid. The other thing I want to say is, anybody seen in the news lately about Compass allowing now the outside brokers to engage? Well, there's rules in place for that. They're just saving face. And so I don't want to do anything that could cause antitrust or have me get in trouble. But I'll be discussing that next time. The biggest thing is, I've had people say, well, I lost a listing because the Compass agent said they can do this. That's hogwash. I can teach you the right way to overcome that objection if you come to that meeting. I have discussed it in the past, but it's hogwash to think that that seller is going to benefit from a closed network where it's not going out to the entire public. The new rules that were put in place with coming soon for STMLS and then CRMLS, so if you're in South Bay, the rules are a little bit different. I've sent out information on that. If you're still not clear on it, ask me and I'll send the information out again. But you should know these rules going into a listing presentation to explain it to your sellers because it's going to benefit the sellers with the new coming soon. Look at Joe Acosta's post on Facebook today. I love it. He took the information I gave him and he made a social media post out of it to benefit him, to tell his sphere of influence why working with him will help get the most exposure to the audience. Because you know what, Joe? He's my favorite agent this week because he listens to Broker Bob. All right, enough said. Back to you.
Okay, Ashley, now follow that.
No problem. Joe Acosta.
Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Oh. So, how's the market?
Go from pitching listings to begging for buyers. Judy, it felt like a beg. Anybody experiencing market time that you've never seen before? Wow,
I've seen it
long
before.
time. Yeah.
Yes.
Those of us old timers. It's very interesting. I used last month the word schizophrenic to describe the market because it really is. I can only give you numbers. Well, I shouldn't say that. I choose to give you numbers in a monthly format because to break it down any further would be a lot of time. And in most markets, to go week by week would be silly. I'm telling you right now, week by week, it's very different in San Diego's market. Do you guys feel that?
Yes.
I have not ever experienced that in my career. I have a sense, just an intuitive sense, that it's kind of following the craziness in the overall world. So the crazier the world is, the slower the real estate market gets. Then we get some, I don't want to use the word normal, but more normal week, and then things get busy again. And then it slows down the next week because it's crazy. It's just how it is. So when I look for trends, it's really hard to find trends right now. Because one week is great and we get all excited, and then the next week it's like everybody stopped.
Mm-hmm.
That you guys are feeling it.
Yeah.
All right, so the numbers look very similar to last year, where almost everything is a little bit above last year, which is great, but it doesn't necessarily feel like that because it's so start-stop. That's where I say schizophrenic. That's why I use that word, just so you understand where I'm coming from. And that is continuing. It's continuing this week. And I know that because every single day I look at the hot sheet. How many of you look at the hot sheet every day? It's just my pulse on the market. And it is, you can sense it by the middle of the week. You're like, wow, it's dead. And then the next week, all right. So 90 days from today is always important because whatever you're doing today will, in terms of your business, will show up 90 days from today. So I just want to always mark that period of time in the future. It happens to be business October. Yeah, October 14th.
Yeah.
We are already there in the real estate calendar. It's also Own a Business Day. So it's a day to celebrate all of you because you all own your individual businesses. I thought it was kind of cool, this holiday, so to speak, started in 2016 to celebrate business owners because of what they do for their communities. You all are or have the opportunity to be pillars in your community, as do obviously all other small business owners. But I think realtors have a very, very unique place in the community if they choose. Okay, here we go. We're going to skip through that. So this was as of this morning. This is this morning compared to the same time frame last month. We've built up a little bit of inventory, a little bit more. We've stayed pretty consistent in terms of units that went into pending, but again, that's a week by week number. We are always looking at the numbers because we need you guys closing a lot of deals for Nancy and I not to have heart attacks about checks not coming in. So when we go for a 9-day period and we haven't had anything open and we have 170 agents, tells you things are slow. And then, well, it's just weird. Anyway, so sold, that's a pretty big drop off. But in my opinion, it's because the third week of June was so slow. So, well,
We'll see if we pick back up. And then again, pretty consistent with the over 1 million. Actually, look at that, sold over 1 million. Exactly the same. This is condos. Everything's a little bit up. Except for sold under or over 500,000. That's down. Okay, so year to date, through the end of June, we have taken 13% more listings than we did last year. That's a great thing. I still believe we're going to end up selling all those units. They are taking longer because people have more choice. And there's some craziness out there. So there's more choice, and if you hit one of those slow weeks, that might add a week to your market time. What's interesting is our original list price to sales price hasn't gone down that much. So yes, our time on market is extending, but buyers aren't getting huge discounts. They might be getting better terms. They're not getting a lot off the price. And solds are down 2.4%. We actually gained a little bit. This was higher last month. It was 2.9%. So we did gain towards that. And I think we'll end up absorbing all those units. Here's our absorption rates. They went up slightly compared to last month. Slightly. No more than 1 point in each of the categories. And last month, who was here when we did the slideshow and the slides weren't really, you couldn't read them? Yeah, that was fun. I chose, just for time's sake, to take out one of the slides that I included last month, which was this exact same chart from this time last year. And the reason for it is I can just tell you on each of these absorption rates, which for those of you who are new to the meeting means for every 100 listings that are brought in a month, how many sell, or how many of 100 sell. So if this was 100 listings taken, 52 sold. So it's 52% in the same month absorption rate. Last year, every single price point was 20 to 25 points higher.
I was going to say, those are a lot lower.
And things are happening.
Well, they're lower because that absorption was happening in a month. And now when you've got 45 days for an escrow period plus 35 days for your actual on-market time, these absorption rates are going to have a lag time.
Are you really seeing 45-day escrows?
Yeah, which it's been a little bit shocking because we were seeing a lot of 3-week escrows, and now we're seeing over a month.
I also asked the ladies, the escrow officers or escrow partners, and they said even some it's 30 days, but in reality it's taking 45 because they're just running into more things. Mm-hmm. People aren't as prepared from buyer and seller side as they were in previous market.
Because they're not as urgent.
Yes. That.
And by the way, that comes a lot from us. I think we need to be very aware when a market shifts the way this is continuing to shift, we bring a lot of that energy to the table. We do, as the agents, kind of set the tone for everything. So if we're operating with less urgency because we're being influenced by our buyers who have less urgency, that's just going to impact everybody. So it's our job to keep things moving forward. It's much easier, don't you think, to get a transaction done the first couple weeks? Mm-hmm. Just have it all kind of tied up and instead of waiting. I know a lot of you are habitual procrastinators and you kind of like to live under that. It's not good for anybody. So let's move with urgency. So anyway, I didn't add that other slide because I'm just telling you, 20 to 25% higher absorption last year. However, every single one of these, even the 28% absorption over 5 million, is still a seller's market. It's still, now, there are people in our market who are making social media posts who are saying it's a buyer's market. I would say it's not a buyer's market, but it is definitely closer to a buyer's market than any of you have ever seen in your careers, with the exception of maybe 5 of you in there. Closer to it. It's still not. This is what tells us that. Who remembers what percentage absorption do we have to get to for it to be defined a buyer's market? 20 is a balanced market. 15% would be, 15% or below is a buyer's market. I don't think that's on the horizon. You guys following me? Now, the other way we would define the buyer's market is to have 6 months of inventory. Well, we're not close to that yet. We're definitely closer. We're not close. We're not even at 4 months yet. I do think we may be at 4 months of condos next month. But there's nothing that would tell us we're in a buyer's market other than it feels different than an aggressive seller's market. Well, there's a lot of room between a seller's market and a buyer's market, or an aggressive seller's market and a weak buyer's market.
I'd be curious to see how many homes are being sold that are investment versus owner-occupants. Because investments would definitely drag that out.
Yeah.
Because you'd want to buy more time for like a 1031 exchange, right?
Yeah.
So you'd extend that. I'm sure title could figure that out, right?
Ooh, I'll ask around.
Yeah.
All right, listed the last 3 years, just in each price point, compare it. Look at the blue bars this year. We're looking good. We've been complaining about not having enough inventory to sell. Well, we're getting it now. In every single price point, we're doing better than last year and the year before. That is a great thing, because you cannot sell what you don't have listed. So at least now we have inventory on the shelves. Yes? Okay. Sold. Now, this is a little concerning, but I think it's a combination of the schizophrenic market and the fact that we just have longer escrow times and on market times. We are not selling more in each price point than we did the previous 2 years, yet we listed more. So logically, you would think we should be selling more. I think it's just, there's a lag, and it may be a 90-day lag, and part of that is the schizophrenia. It's not bad, though. I mean, we're doing pretty solid. This is just year over year, so last year compared to this year. This shows you, it's pretty dramatic how much more inventory we're listing in every price point. My excitement is the fact that these two are as high as they are. Who would have known we had that much property that could come to market under $500,000?
Ashley, do you have any information on cancellations?
I have not been tracking cancellations. I can go back for next month. I'll add them in.
It's pretty intense right now.
Again, it goes with the schizophrenia.
That's what makes it feel like a buyer's market.
Right.
You get a buyer in, and 10 days in, they're just like, yeah, I'm over it.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what? It's like 2 years ago, that person would be like, if I don't close on this, I'm not getting another house.
Yeah.
And now they're just throwing it off.
I think it's all those outside influences and some of our energy, what we're bringing. If we are saying, oh, you can be lackadaisical, you got a lot more choice, you know, if this doesn't work out, we have something else. I hear that in your language. Stop that. It's not trying on shoes. Once you make an offer that's accepted, that you're supposed to buy that house. All right, sold again. We are not selling everything we're listing yet. Active houses, as of, I actually pulled these on Sunday. They're up over last month in every price point. However, houses, if you look at the under 700, how many of you have a buyer for under $700,000 house? I think almost everybody should have. There's hardly anything. And by the way, a lot of those are manufactured, right? So the reality is, if we have less than 200 houses in the entire county of San Diego under 700,000, how much demand do you think there are for those? Less than 200. Oh, so that's still a seller's market. Probably up to here, up to $1.5 million, I would say, is still a pretty aggressive seller's market. Once you start, depending on your area, once you're at that $1.5 million and above, it's definitely softening. You're definitely seeing the days on market go. Part of that is there's 1,100, 1,200 to choose from. That's where your choice is. Your choice is not down here. It's here. So it's a tale of two markets. If you have a listing in this price point, you can't say, well, it's an aggressive seller's market still. Well, no, it's a seller's market, but there's still a lot of choice. Oh, that went too fast. So there's condos. The same thing, here's where you've got a lot of choice, 400 to 600,000. For condos, that's where your market's going to be, as a seller, softer. It's not. I mean, under 400, there's not a lot of choice in the whole county. Okay, new listings. So on this, I mark every June. So new listings brought to market every June. How we doing? Visually, this shows you how rough the last 2 years were. They were historically rough. Look at the 2 Junes prior and prior. That's how many new houses we were listing, and then it's been really tight inventory the last 2 years because we just weren't bringing product to market. Now we're back up. It's a really good thing. You may have to take a little bit longer view of it. It may not feel great right now because the time on market is extending, but it's a good thing. And same thing with condos. Okay, active listings. Our inventory is continuing to build up. At least going back to 2020. For those of you who haven't been in the market that long, 2020 and 2021 were the 2 best years in real estate in the United States ever. 2 best years, okay? So our active inventory reflected that. We didn't have a lot of active inventory because it was coming and going, coming and going, coming and going. We have agents in the office who sold things in less than 2 days. Kind of as a norm. Just what was happening. So we didn't have a buildup of inventory because everything that came on went off, right? And yet, it was higher than these last 2 years because just the contrast we needed. 2 best years in real estate, 2 of the most challenged years in real estate, right back to back. And now I think what we're seeing is where we're going to kind of normalize, probably for the rest of this current presidential administration. Because we're going to be in a schizophrenic market. 1 week we have tariffs, 1 week we don't. That impacts people in a psychological level. When it starts showing up and impacting them financially, we're going to feel it here too. All right? Active listings all the way back to May 2008. What was happening in May 2008?
Short sales.
Who was in the business? How were we doing? Ed was trying to buy a house. If you could buy then, it was a great time to buy.
18 offers. I lost all.
It was a miserable time. I will just say it was a miserable time. However, we had more listing choice. Those were mostly distressed sales, either NODs, so foreclosed, or short sales. But look how much choice we had compared to where we're at now. Now, what's normal? Somewhere in between these lines is probably our new normal market. And that's just based on trajectory. All right. Pendings. 2 best years, 20, 21. Look at those pending numbers. Where are we now? About half. About half. How does that feel? As an industry, that actually feels painful because what it tells you is we are selling, we're generating half the income we did just 5 years ago, just 4 years ago, as an industry. So that tells me we're going to continue to see agents bow out of the business because these numbers are just not coming up fast enough to support more agents than we have right now. Yet, they're still pretty solid numbers for our new normal. Solds, down just a tad, but same thing, they're half of what they used to be. Very short time ago. Okay? For 1,900, let's call it 1,900 sold listings in the month of June, I can't tell you how, just statistically, that's so few compared to the number of households in San Diego. So I believe we're still seeing people kind of extend their wait for whatever it is. Maybe it's just to get through this schizophrenia. People are waiting and staying in their homes longer. They want to move, they just don't know what to do. But under 2,000 sales a month, in the middle of summer, tells you things are still wonky. Median sales price took a little bit of a dip, so did the average last month. The reason for that is we had a couple of sales that sold way under where they thought they would. Just a couple tanked this average, or this median, but the median still is up significantly over the last 10 years. And I chose to put the median every June. It's the first time I've done that in a long time, just so you could see. Because it is tough right now, week by week, to go, what are the trends? Well, the trend over time is it's going up. And the trend over time is going to be, it's going up. Might we have a blip? Yeah, we had a blip here. That could freak you out if you bought in that month, or you sold at that point, and yet it's coming up. Well, so this is the June dip. Well, June dips are not that unusual. For whatever reason, we have a June dip often in our values. But we come back up. There's no trend to a buyer's market yet, and there's no trend downwards in price. That's what I want you to take away. And our average. That was a significant, but again, it was because we had something that was listed really high that took a much lower offer. It's going to come back up. Yeah. Well, let's go back here really quick. So I did put, it was an $86,000 decrease from last June to this June in terms of average. That can feel significant. I want somebody to hold me accountable to this. I believe it was a blip. Again, because I looked at the sales, it was just one that decided I have a feeling they were highly motivated and had to get out. That's what brought it down. I bet in July it'll go back up. All right, median active market time. This, I think, is going to continue to edge up because typically June is still kind of the height of our selling season, and then things start to slow down. So combine that with all the outside factors, I would not be surprised if we started to see 30 days, 35 days. By the end of the year, maybe 40, 45 days in December. Why is that important? Because you need to set expectations with sellers. Now, currently, if you have a listing and it's over 26 days and it's a condo, it's time to do a price adjustment. If it's a house and it's over 18 days, you need to do a price adjustment. You miss the market, which isn't necessarily hard to do when it's a schizophrenic market. It's really weird to know that if you listed something last week, you could have entered the market in a totally different phase than if you listed this week. But you guys are feeling that. You've told me today that you're feeling that. All right, and then months of available inventory. So I said earlier, I believe by end of summer we'll be at 4 months. For condos, we're already at 3.9. So we're right there, and that's a combination of things. We're listing more, and we've slowed the sales process. So that's why I think we'll go over 4 pretty quickly, pretty soon. On houses, I think it'll take probably till September, maybe October, but we'll likely hit 4 months of inventory. I said earlier, what amount of months of inventory is a buyer's market?
6.
Yeah, so is 4 months 6 months?
No.
It's getting closer, but it's still a long ways away. Okay. When's the last time we had 6 months of inventory?
2012.
I honestly don't know. It doesn't exist on any of my graphs, which means it was prior to 2005. So we haven't been in a defined that way buyer's market, with the exception of a couple of that, I take that back, a couple months in 2008. But a couple months. Average original list price to sales price came down a little bit. Not much. It's still incredibly healthy. It's above 97%. Which I honestly think is pretty awesome considering you don't know what market you're entering in any week. Sometimes, I mean, pricing is always an art and a science, Right now, it's probably more art than science, depending on week you list, what week you actually get an accepted offer. So to be that within 3% of your original list price, that's pretty solid. Okay, price per square foot obviously goes along with average sales price, so it's down a little bit for this month. It'll come back up next month. But look at that trajectory over time. Now that's back to June 2007. Obviously, we had this huge correction because of liar loans, and then took us several years to come out of it. Took us about 5 years to really get back our value back to where we were. That was 2014. What's happened since then? Did we go backwards for any amount of time? We had blips, but we didn't come down. Can anybody give me, there's a lot of reasons for this, give me 1 or 2 reasons why we would see from 2014 to now this pretty intense upward trajectory in price?
Low interest rates.
Okay. Yeah. Low interest rates would definitely probably take us through here, 2022, right there. That peak was when the interest rates changed. But what's the trajectory done since then?
Housing issues, demand.
Demand, what's the other side of that? Why? So, if you were to go back and look at what's been built since here, we have been at a building deficit for that amount of time.
And more households being formed.
And more and population growth. So we haven't for, 18 years, it is actually longer than that, but let's say 18 years, we haven't built enough houses in any 1 year to meet the new demand. And now that's compounded over 18 years. And we're producing more humans. So this is the argument that says our prices aren't going down because demand is not going down and supply is, there's no way to fix our supply. Would you agree with that? Joe, you are well versed in commercial real estate. Is there any way that you could, if you had a magic wand, fix 18 years of a building deficit?
You have to build in East County, where you live.
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
Could we
if you're
even
looking at
build
the
enough?
whole, if you're looking at the whole metro area, you just have to build homes out there.
Yeah.
It's not going to be in the city.
And how long does that take to entitle and get done?
You have to rezone that whole area,
It-
and nobody. who
It's
lives
20
there-
years out.
And nobody who lives there, like yourself, would want that to happen. So.
I would vote for it. However, you wouldn't get the entire population to vote for it, and it's still going to take 20 years. That's to break ground. So, for most of us in this room, for the rest of our lifetimes, this is going to be the trajectory. I need you to be confident about that for 2 reasons. Number 1, you have to be able to explain that to your buyers. Number 2, this should be motivation for you to do whatever you need to do to get into real estate.
Well, and
I
then-
read a Facebook post the other day that said, God's not making more land. What's there is there. I just did an incredibly long trip across the country. You know how many states have nothing for miles and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of miles, and there's nothing?
48 of them.
You buy a house for $100,000.
There's plenty of land. You just don't want to live there. Here, you want to live here. There is not plenty of land. Go get your little piece of it. All right, and I changed this because you brought it to my attention last month, so thank you. Based on the price per square foot, I'm going back, especially if this is the first time for you to see this last slide. We know what prices are going to do. They are at least going to go up by 5% a year. Would you agree with that? Okay. So, if they continue to do what they've done the last 10 years, which is nearly double, our average sales price per square foot will do this up through 2065. If they continue to do what they've done the last 10 years. Now, if they don't do that, and they cool off a little bit, and we can agree we're still going to get 5% appreciation every year, it's still pretty outstanding numbers. I think that's me. That means shut up. I'm done.
Well, and as that number goes up, people can't afford to sell because they have all this equity. And for them to even just buy the house they're in, they can't afford it. And then the move-up buyer will be gone.
Yeah.
We're living that. I think I've been saying that for the last 3 years. I'm terrified what's going to happen when we don't have the move-up buyer. Well, look what. Hang on a minute. Hang on. Let me. Houses. Where's your move-up buyer coming from? When you don't have new inventory, where entry-level people can get in. Okay.
The only smart thing I've ever heard of Marjorie Taylor Greene say.
Oh God.
The only smart thing, and honestly, I thought it was a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
You do not take capital gains tax on a primary house.
Yeah.
That would trigger sales up the wazoo.
You could.
There would be no capital gains. That's huge.
Yeah.
We have a product that we are going to have access to, I hope. I will lobby Robert heavily. Robert and Sarah and I have a meeting on Monday with a guy out of Texas who's been running a company for the last 4 years with a really awesome seller financing product, which should help with a lot of people who are in that place of going, what do I do? Because the way that they have structured this, they can pass on their 2 or 3% interest rate and get income because they're seller financing the loan and servicing it. It's pretty amazing. So we are really working behind the scenes to help you get some products that can help you get those people
And
moving
that
out.
$250,000 that you get as an exemption for a single person, $500 for a married couple. If you guys don't know that, that's what you get exempt for capital gains if you sell your property, right? That came up like 1980 when houses for for a fraction of the cost they are now.
Yeah.
So the fact that that's never been adjusted for inflation or adjusted for anything, I mean, honestly, I think that would be a huge injection into our industry if something like that did pass the Senate.
Well, and property taxes.
Yeah.
Well, that went up to the salt went up
That's
to
so
40.
crazy.
I'm sorry?
The salt tax went up to 40,000 instead of 10.
So there's,
Right, but your property
for all of
taxes
you
don't
who are like, what are they talking about? So
Gone up a little bit.
I'm going to really work to remain neutral in how I say this. There was a big, beautiful bill that was passed, which 99.9% of it I think is atrocious, and there are significant real estate benefits in it. The 99% I think is atrocious is going to financially hurt a lot of people. It's our responsibility to understand where we can recoup some of that pain and the benefits that are coming through it, and there are a ton on real estate. So we'll be bringing that up also. It has passed, it's going to go in effect. It won't really start, except psychologically, impacting people. It really won't start impacting anybody until next year. But we need to know as an industry what those benefits are to at least counterbalance some of the stuff that is going to hurt.
There was about 10 or 12 when I had them. I wrote an article on it.
Yeah.
Anybody wants to go ahead?
Okay. And back to Joe's point, we've already eaten up our entry-level market for houses. Our entry-level market really, for the most part, exists in condos only, which is fine. Get them in a condo, have them sell that in 2 to 3 years and get into a house. But what does somebody have to earn, call it a single person, to buy a $700,000 house?
I haven't done that 700, but I did a $500,000 condo with no other debts. You had to be making 10 grand a month.
And who has no other debts?
No other 10 grand a month.
Crazy.
So that's our entry-level buyer. Well, let's see. What do they have for condo choice? So that $10,000 a month single earner with no debt, which is a unicorn, only has a choice of really about 400 properties total in San Diego County. Condos. Nuts. Okay. 6 minutes, yes.
I have 2 questions. On Are we going to start including coming soon as active with the SDAR changes now?
No, because we've had coming soon as a category. I know it's changed, but it will screw up all the rest of my numbers if I do that.
Okay, well, that's.
Because I can't go back in time.
The sold then? Because if we can go right from coming soon to pending, then
It's
active
just, we're
status
gonna have
is
to
gonna be.
see how it impacts it.
Number two, can we start getting our specific market center stats of units sold in volume, so we can start marketing it in
Yeah.
our presentations?
Sure.
I get it quite a lot. I have them do my team stats, but if we could have market stats that our market center sold 97 units so far. Just like end of month, not necessarily.
Yeah, and it might be a good contrast too to be able to say, and you know, so the market's at 97% list price to sales price, but we're at 99. That might be a good stat to say.
Yeah.
You just earned your listing commission right there.
Sure.
Yep, you can do that. Thanks for always giving me more work, Alicia. As long as it helps them, it's all good.
Did you track reductions?
Do I track? I don't track reductions. There's only so much I can do by hand because our MLS isn't set up for really great customized searches. How many of you have ever used the entire customized search panel? Even know that it's there? It sucks.
Yeah.
So we're somewhat limited.
Isn't there a way, I don't know, if Sarah taught us or someone, there's a way on our website, I believe, to filter the ones that have been reduced and use it as a marketing, like, you know, to send it. These are the houses that have been reduced in price.
Yeah.
Like, so there is a way to do that.
Through command.
If you go to your website, so if you go to your KW website and you go into the search bar and you type up 2-bedroom, 2-bath, Chula Vista, single family home, and it pulls that up. If you slide down all the way to the very bottom of the customizer, the very last one you can turn on says only been price reduced in the last 7 days.
Right.
And then you take that link and that link will live update. So anytime you go to it, it's only showing you something that's been price
So I'd have to do that
Yeah.
weekly because it won't do 30 days if it's weekly.
Sorry,
Anytime you go to it, it'll show you what the active
For this last
for that. So
more work for you.
I'll play with it and see what I can do.
But yeah, it would not give you the numbers.
All right.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. Eddie's been trying to.
So that list to sales price ratio, does that take into account seller consent?
I don't think you can.
No.
Because that's just a.
Because
So if
that's
you
a
have
Leslie
a
different contract.
So you have a 3% reduction, I mean, but you could have a 6% concession.
Right.
Yeah.
And we would.
But it's the recorded sales price. So. Yep. Yes,
How
ma'am.
would you sum up? You have a buyer or a seller, you can decide, and they say, is now a good time to sell my home? How would you summarize the market in a few sentences?
Prices are going up. So, depending on what you want to do, their motivation on why they want to move. If they're going somewhere else, is it a good time to sell? Yeah, because you're going to get the lowest price possible now. Same house is going to be more expensive next year. So if they're selling and buying, sooner better than later. Yes? In most cases, because you're selling something at the top of the market, essentially, in this moment in time, and buying something cheaper than you're gonna get it next year. Now, if people are waiting for the rates to come down, again, going back to the schizophrenia in the market, I don't think we're gonna see rates come down for the next 3.5 years. Now, that's just me going, it's a different financial picture this morning, than it was yesterday. So, who knows?
Yeah.
Not banking on it, and prices are going up. In San Diego County, we can see, we don't have enough new building happening to correct that.
And at what point in the data, like right now we have a blip going down, like a recession is, X amount of quarters.
2 quarters.
So then how in our data would you say, what does that data show for then prices to officially be going down? Like how many?
We haven't seen a month where prices have gone down.
Well, like right now we went down a little bit.
So
So,
average price went down a little bit. Our average. But
so what would that take for you to say?
So
the market-
let's say this is a really, really good, thank you. So the average price and median are just kind of, they're a really global look at what's going on. But house by house, prices haven't come down. fewer, more expensive houses are selling, which is what is bringing the average down. It's bringing the median down. Everybody following me? But appraisers are still saying prices are going up. Not as fast, but they're going up. Okay, so if we only gain 3 to 5% this year, that's still 3 to 5%.
Right.
Okay, all right, so does that kind of answer that?
No, I was just wondering, like, at what point, if things went, like, how many months would they have to go down? Your blip would have to go down to say, uh-oh.
For me to see a trend, I
Yeah.
would say 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
So just like regular recession. We may see that, but it's not going to because this is a weird thing to say, but we're just in a weird moment in time. It's not going to be because real estate factors. The real estate factors, supply and demand, we are completely safe from going down. Now, if something happens in the overall economy and we hit a significant recession, yeah, well, things are just going to glide to a stop. That could happen. The good news as far as our industry goes, life still happens. So as long as you're operating in a space where you're dealing with people who are getting married and getting divorced and having babies and retiring and going, I mean, those life events are still going to allow real estate sales to happen. And I would encourage you all, go get intentional about being in those conversations, because that's the safest place just in case a big recession hits, which it could. We just don't know. And by the way, if we go into another war somewhere, yeah, there's a lot going on. So those types of sales are always going to happen. Would you all agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So put part of your business plan together to go after those people who are having major life changes that aren't dictated by interest rates.
Right.
And then the other part of that for your second half of the year business plan is educate yourself through us on the benefits, the real estate benefits that we will be seeing as they drip out next year.
And on that note, stay for Judy's class because that's.
Well, and I will say this, I'll end with this. I did ask Judy to put a class together for this because it is such a large portion of our demographics. For the next 20 years, there's a sweet spot. And they say the senior community. It's not even the senior community, it's the boomer community. The boomers are giving us 20 years of great real estate sales if we learn how to serve them at a high level. It is I was talking to somebody yesterday and I said, what a unique opportunity in this time of rapid change in real estate. I was with some of my older relatives last week, between 85 and 95 years old. They're not docu-signing anything. They kind of want it printed out. And somebody to sit there and have tea with them. And we have all these kids coming into the industry who they have no baseline for that. Like, unless you are in a room to learn, how do you have a business conversation with somebody who's 85? It's different.
It's different. Gotta be relaxed.
Through Snapchat.
I will say, my aunt, who's in Casa Grande, I'm at her house. She just went blind, unfortunately. My Aunt Sharon. Not that you can see me. We joked about it, so it's all right. Oh my God. But her daughter set up her phone to audio alert her to Facebook. Like, it tells her what new Facebook post went out. And I'm sitting there, and it tells her what new Snapchat went up from her niece.